Hey guys, NW Order for Life here with Tokyo Ghoul episode 11 review. Um, Starts off with Jason torturing Kaneki, and Anteiku is shown wanting to rescue him. Toka is objecting to Tsukiyama being part of the team, and Yomo says that he's got it. He'll look after him. He won't do Tsukiyama won't do anything strange. Um, Tsukiyama is basically saying like how he took their advice and he ate himself and he's delicious and he's being all psychotic. But it seems like he wants to get Kaneki back too because he can't bear the fact of anybody having Kaneki but himself. I'm going to go back to the torture, and we see Jason using these needles. Well, we don't see him using the needles. I think we, hear him talking about using the needles, and I'm not sure if they show the needles or not, but, he says that they do show Kaneki's eye, and he says that the eye is the only place on the body of a ghoul that can be pierced by, like, a needle. And so he, pierces Kaneki's eye. We don't see it. We just hear the screams. Um, we see the Amon the CCG. Amon is giving he's giving a new Quinque, and the CCG has basically attacked or is getting ready to mount an attack against the 11th Ward with over 1,000 agents. So I guess like 1,000 doves, you call it, right? Jason is very, very psychopathic. He basically lets Kaneki heal up completely before coming back to torture him again. And so he has ghouls come in the room and clean up after Kaneki's mess, blood, whatever is on the floor, And one of those ghouls was Banjo. He had a mess, so I don't think Jason knew. And Banjo basically tells Kaneki that he'll get him out, soon. Just be patient and hang in there. He knows that Rise is dead and that Kaneki hid that fact to protect his feelings. Anteiku is shown leaving to go get Kaneki. Amon is in the car with the CCG and he's talking about Jason. And they say something really, really interesting. They tell Amon that, or Mr. Shinohara tells Amon that Jason was a ghoul who was captured by an investigator, and the investigator put him through intense torture. In fact, the exact same torture that he's using on Kaneki right now. And as a result of that torture, his mind broke, and he had developed a second personality in his mind, one that made him into the torturer that he is today. And he broke free, and I guess killed the torturer. I'm not sure if he did or not, but got out and became known as Jason, and a psychopath who does all the torture consistently to everyone that he pretty much beats up or fights or captures. And we see Ayato is with his crew, Jason's subordinates. They're getting ready to fight off the CCG. We see Jason once again torturing Kaneki. This time looks like a centipede kind of thing. It really looks like a centipede, but like maybe thicker, a little bigger. And 100 legs or whatever it's on there, and he's dangling it, and we don't see what he does with it. We see Kaneki's legs, so we can assume that maybe he puts it up Kaneki's nose. Maybe it went into the eye socket if the eye socket was pierced, or through the ear. I don't know. I don't think it'd be through the ear. I think it'd probably be more along maybe through the eye socket. But either way, terrible torture, just agonizing pain for Kaneki, screaming constantly. The CCG is basically sees they're attacking the 11th Ward's access area, like the area to access the ward, I guess, and it's being defended by a sniper point of ghouls. I guess they are it's the head detective, the head guy of the CCG basically says like, oh, those guys must be former military soldiers that are ghouls. Like, you know, they're ghouls that have military experience, or they were soldiers or whatever they were. And so the CCG is being held off, and then Juzo, um, the little kid, when the guy, yeah, he's not a little kid, the young teen, I guess I'll call him, or the slightly older teen, 17ish, I don't know. He with the white hair, the one who stole stuff from Kaneki, the one who's a crazy psycho under Shinohara's, he's Shinohara's subordinate. He takes the motorcycle from the head boss and drives up and basically, you know, goes off a ramp and lets the motorcycle fly, and then he jumps off the motorcycle in midair and into the sniper point and slaughters all the ghoul snipers. So the CCG gets in, you know, some comic relief about how you know, the boss is a little pissed off because his motorcycle is destroyed, but he still orders, you know, everybody to move in. And then we get to see Anteiku again, and Anteiku just killed a bunch of ghouls in the 11th Ward, a group of them. They're like, "Who are you? Where do you come from?" And all of a sudden, you know, Anteiku just slaughters them and says, "We're Anteiku." And Amon locates Toka in the 11th Ward. She's wearing her bunny costume, her bunny mask, or whatever. And he calls her Rabbit, and he wants her to kill her, thinking of Mato. And Amon ends up getting blocked by two more ghouls called the Bin brothers, supposedly S-rank ghouls from the 11th Ward. And Amon remembers Mato's training, or Mato's advice, and he basically, Mato told him, like, should I die, you should use this Kagane that I have here called Kura. Before that, he told him in the flashback that the way we fight on par with ghouls is because we can use trickery to match their brute strength. So I don't know how Kura really relates to trickery, unless maybe two weapons against two. I don't know, because there were two ghouls fighting him, so why would two weapons be considered trickery? But anyway, Amon uses Kura, and the sword, it's like, it's pretty much like the first thing Mato was using in the beginning, like a Kagane that goes super long, and it's like a whip or whatever. It looks similar to that, but it's blue. So, and it's like blade-like, I guess. And anyway, Nishiki basically throws himself in front of Toka. This is how fast the scenes are switching back and forth. Nishiki throws himself in front of Toka, takes, you know, feathers to the back or whatever, and then we see that Ayato is the one that threw them, you know, from his Kagane. Toka's pissed off. She's like, Ayato, and she's getting ready to fight him. And he's like, what are you doing here, little sister, you know? And Shinohara, Amon, and a bunch of other, you know, CCG. We'll just call them a bunch of other CCG soldiers, a group of them. They all are in one, you know, moving out, I think, towards the roof, or at least towards somewhere. And they encounter the one-eyed owl, and the boss of the CCG finds out, and he's on the radio, and he's telling them, like, you know, if you die, that's it. Everybody's going to die. You're the best we have up there. If you guys got to do your best to stall him, even dying isn't going to help, because, you know, it won't even be worth anything. So basically, like, you know, use your best, be careful, send whoever isn't talented up there away, because they'll be useless. Just use the best that you got there, you, Amon, you know, a couple other guys maybe, and just do your best to hold them off or something. That's pretty much what he told them. Pretty much despair and, like, you know, defeat in his voice in regards to the one-eyed owl. So he's being very hyped for the one-eyed owl to be ridiculously strong. And then the final scene of the episode is Kaneki's hair is white. He's sitting in the chair, and he's got white hair. What that means, I know. I'm sure that it's not that hard to figure out, but I mean, Kaneki's been messed up. And the whole episode, he's been tortured. He's been screaming, and it's not just torture. It's like like in the manga, I think it makes it more clear that it's like days and days of torture. In the anime, it doesn't seem to be as long, like, you know, to the viewer. I don't think, like, it feels like Kaneki was just captured, and, you know, like, his torture was only a couple hours, but it's a long torture, I think, in the manga. I think a couple of days worth, and it's just torture by ripping the fingernails, by, you know, I didn't mention that, but they showed like a little bit of the dark nails, like they look mutilated or whatever. They showed that before. You know, needles in his eyes and all different manners of torture, and continuously, the minute he gets, you know, the minute he heals up, before he can even forget about the pain, the guy comes back in and delivers more torture. So, you know, really intense episode for Kaneki. His character is about to, you know, go through a change, as we can see with the opening. You know how serious he gets and how soldier-like he gets, and you know, this is definitely probably the same thing that happened to Jason. You know, so, yeah, not probably, definitely. The same way Jason got this second personality and became a psycho torturer, Kaneki is going to change from this, as evidence from his white hair. So it's really you know, a plot progression episode. A lot of stuff going on. Anteiku looking best. Even the owner of Anteiku, he's fighting in there. He's getting involved, and yeah, wow, just the thought of the comparison of, or not the comparison, but the fact that Jason is who he is because of the special investigators, because of the CCG and what they did to him, how they tortured him. That should have opened up Alan's eyes a bit, and to see that these ghouls really aren't all evil, and that, you know, people are just as bad. But yeah, so that's my review of Tokyo Ghoul. A great episode 11, a great review, great episode. I give it a 9 out of 10. Really enjoyed it, was entertained, and the plot is moving forward. So thanks a lot, guys. Be sure to comment below about any of the characters or the storyline or whatever you want. Rate my video, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos in the future. Thanks. Have a great day.